Okay, hi everybody. Welcome. If you're brand new here, you found me. Congratulations, welcome. And welcome back to those of you who've been watching for a long time. I appreciate every single one of you. I appreciate the comments, thumbs up, likes, and the acknowledgments in person, because I do see some of my club members who comment on some of the videos and stuff. So I appreciate everybody, no matter what. Good or bad, even if you have a comment where I messed up something, tell me, please, because I still do. And I probably always will, so mess up, that is. Anyway, all right, let me read the fortune and then tell you what today's hodgepodge is going to be, right? So I got it over here. Let's see. Today's fortune is, save the honeybees. Remember that. Okay, anyway, today's fortune is lifetime friend. No, that's last week's. Oh, okay. Practice random acts, or no, not random acts. It just says practice random kindness and senseless acts of beauty. Practice random kindness and senseless acts of beauty. Okay, senseless acts of beauty. The random kindness, that's easy. Just be kind. Just do something nice for somebody. You don't have to know them. Hold the door. I was at Walmart, not sponsored, but I was shopping at Walmart, and the lady was having a hard time getting her cart, out of the row of carts that they shoved together. So I went over there and I was like, oh, I'll get this. And it took me like an extra minute or so to wiggle them free. She was so appreciative. Random acts of kindness. So, and then of course, you walk through Walmart and you see that same person 2-3 times, and it's almost like you got a relationship now. But yeah, so there's an older lady at the Walmart down the street that, we see each other now twice already. Anyway, so random acts of kindness, random acts of beauty. I don't know what that would be. Maybe a flower. Plant some flowers, do something nice. If you see a piece of artwork you like, but it's not for you, or a postcard that's pretty, buy it and give it to somebody with a note saying, hey, today's your day or something. Anyway, so that's it for me. You do what you do. I'm going to do what I do, which we always do. Anyway, some of you keen-eyed viewers may notice I changed a few things around. My bee freezer used to be right behind me. Right now, my lawnmower is there because my bee freezer is over here where the lawnmower used to be. I ended up doing some maintenance items in the shed, trying to reorganize and get better organized. So I cut the shelf here, put the bee freezer, stuck it in there, has ventilation around it, no problems. When I get rid of some of the stuff in front, you'll still be able to see all the stickers. Right now, Kamon and Natalie just looking right at you. Anyway, so I moved the freezer over there. I have a new extension cord so that I can reach the plug. In this area behind me, well, actually behind this wood here, which is going to be a long hive. I know. I hear the boos. I hear the hisses. I'll get to it, and I'll tell you a little bit about that too in a few minutes. But behind here is my, I have a HillCo settling tank that's just sitting there waiting. And I also have a HillCo extractor, the E8 that I purchased at Expo. I had the settling tank before, but I purchased and it's sitting in the van, the extractor. So that's going to live over here in this area. And I don't know if I'm going to extract in here. I think my first extraction with that, I'll do it in the house because I don't want the bees to come around here. And, because if I had to close the doors, then it's going to get too hot for me because I'm kind of, delicate. Anyway, so yeah, so that's been one of the things I've been doing, trying to reorganize the storeroom, or bee shed as I call it. At the same time, I'm running small batch wax rendering at the same time. Right now, my crock pot is on over here, my large crock pot, which I scraped off a few frames. I'm recycling through some of my XL frames. So some of the ones that were in the freezer, scraped the wax off, the honeycomb, the old dirty comb, and I'm rendering that down along with some burr comb and other stuff. So I'll come up with a little, you know, I don't know. My first rendering of one, it was so thin, not a lot of wax. It's dirty, but I'll clean it up and I'll send it through a second rendering. When I get everything done once, then I'll render it through twice. And then I'm just using that wax to extra wax my frames. Like I have foundation that came waxed. I always cut the ends or snip the ends, but it came heavy waxed. I always brush a little bit extra on both sides, and that's part of the stuff I do before I stick it in the hives. I've got on my chalk, my whiteboard here to build extra frames, deep frames, cut the edges of the foundation. I have a box of foundation somewhere behind me here. I don't know how many I got left, but I still got plenty of foundation. And just to freshen it, still smells good, but just to freshen it up, I put extra wax. And that's usually my own wax. And that gives them the smell of their own particular wax. I don't know. Does it help? Does it hurt? No. Anyway, I got a resident lizard that lives in here. I'm gonna have to name him, but he's out there somewhere. Here, up here, it's my lizard friend. He lives inside, he doesn't go anywhere. And he gets all the bugs and flies and mosquitoes or whatever, so he's staying around. The long hive, as you can see, still have the boards that I started to cut. The insides, I don't know if you remember, but I took a wire wheel and I kind of scored up the insides, kind of like the propolis hives. So it has a rough texture so that when I ever finish building it, the bees will be able to propolize that and have the insides done. But more on that in a minute because of some other projects that I got going on. Let's go look. This right here is my mechanical shed. Most of the stuff, some of you know, I do Mini Coopers. I rescue first generation Mini Coopers, supercharged models, keeping them on the road. And so a lot of my mechanical tools are in this shed, and some woodworking tools for bigger projects and things like that. However, I cleared out this whole area that I'm standing in. I had a tree cut down and I finally cut it up and got rid of everything. I've got a landscaper grader person coming, but he can't come for another week. But he's gonna grade all of this level, and I'm gonna put a concrete pad here so that I can bring the cars back here, work on them. It'll be safer with jack stands and jacks and creepers to roll under them. You're like, what does that have to do with bees? Well, as you know, I do everything outside. So my table saws, my miter saws, all of that stuff, I usually sit it on my barrel over there. It's not that stable. So I will be able to use all of my saw equipment right here on a solid foundation. So then, once the concrete is up and settled and solidified and all that stuff, and I'm able to use it, I'll be able to, you know, set up my table saw, miter saws, outfeed tables, the whole works, and work on a solid foundation versus having things off kilter in the dirt because it's uneven. So yeah, I'm excited about that. And also to be able to work without being on a gravel driveway, which is what I have. So anyway, so that's number 2, 3, 4, all of these things that I've been doing. And so to get it to this point, that took me a lot of work, but I did it all manually. Anyway, so let's go look at the bees real quick, or the water station real quick. Okay, it's a little windy outside, but you can get the point. There's a couple of bees. There's one right here, one there. I just scared them all away. But as you can see, my water drips from the hose. It comes down this side, that side. I have wet moss here that has been growing fine on this. And this is actually a slab of wood. So I have it on a timer that's attached to my bee shed. And it comes on at 8 o'clock in the morning, which I may change that to 7, don't know, you know. but it goes off at 7 p.m. because most bees are back home by 7. Yeah, so that's what my water station is right there in the yard, and then the bees are finding it fine, and they have plenty of water every day, rain or shine. I never change the settings, so they always have water available. And you should too, have water available for your bees. You don't have to, but it's a good idea. And as you can see, they like it. They're here, they like it. Okay, let's go see what else. Okay, just real quick, I put the swarm trap back up and I baited it. This time I know exactly what's in the hive. There's one XL frame with drawn comb and actually 5 deep frames. So, yeah. Okay, it's a little overcast today and a little bit windy. Not a great day to get in the hive. However, there's a couple of things I do want to do today. I think I left a couple of empty spaces for deep frames in the farmhouse, so I need to add a couple of frames there. And on the yellow hive, which was the one that swarmed, because the swarm I caught is now in that red hive, had a marked queen, and I found a unmarked queen in the yellow hive, which I marked pink, because that's the color I had. To keep her below, I put a queen excluder. So every couple of days I come out and I tilt the box up and put a spacer for a couple of hours so that the drones can get out. Because what I did was took a frame, or actually 2 frames of brood, and they had drone brood on them, put them up in the upper box so that it would draw the bees up. So I gotta tilt up this box for a little while and then add frames to that one. So I'm gonna do that. Shouldn't take too long. Okay, let me walk you through what I did. The yellow hive, I looked in there. I usually crack the box open and let the drones out because there was some drone brood. So like I said, I put frames up top that had brood so that to bring the bees up, and I got to get rid of some different size comb or frames and things like that. Anyway, so there's some manipulation going on in that yellow hive. I usually use my autographed Mr. Ed hive cracker box tool, and I just stick it up front and let the drones fly out while I'm working either other hives or whatever. So I use that for a purpose. Anyway, so I did that, but I looked, I didn't see any eggs. I didn't see the queen that I had marked because I saw her. She might have been a virgin queen. So if I marked her, maybe she didn't make it back. I didn't see her. I'm gonna give it another week, go back in, look and see if I see her, if I see eggs, if I see any kind of small larvae. So next week, I will go back through the yellow hive. Not all is lost if she's not there and they can't make a new queen because I did capture their swarm, which is now in the red box, and I can just recombine them back. No harm, no foul. Yeah, get them going. So that's always going to be an option to put them back. I hope you're not hearing the wind. I did get the piece from my microphone that broke before. Anyway, so hopefully the wind isn't bothering you. Anyway, the farmhouse. My only goal really, oh, and also on the yellow hive, I put a H700 sheet, Dixie sheet in there. I washed it, pre-washed it and dried it, so it's really fluffy. I put it in there for beetles. It's like a Swiffer sheet, but you know, it's just the other one. I got it from Jenne, the idea. Anyway, so the farmhouse, I had left some empty space in the back because I didn't have any frames ready for the farmhouse. So what I just went ahead and did is I added one more flow frame. So there's 2 flow frames in there, which are deep frames. And then I added 2 more that I waxed myself with wax from my, wax recuperation operation. Say that 3 times fast. Wax recuperation operation. There you go. Anyway, so I did that. So now everything in the farmhouse is full as far as the deep frames for honey management. I didn't go through the brood chamber of the farmhouse because, like I said, it's really windy and partially overcast. Not a good day today. I'll pick a good day to go through them. They do beard. That's the only one that beards in the evening when all the bees come home. Yeah, I'm smoking myself out. Oh, let me put my, where's my plug? Okay, it's not here. This is how organized I am. Anyway, so what I did was I took one of those robbing screens from Be Smart, robbing screen, turned it upside down over the hole, the feeder hole that's in the top of the Be Smart insulated lid. And so now if they want to vent to the attic of the barn, so to speak, they can vent. And if that was the issue with the bees bearding up, I'm going to watch it for a couple of days. I'm going to see if they propolize that or if not. But in the attic, the only opening in the attic is just one little bee escape hole. There's no holes on the other side. So it's just a bee escape hole. So it's not real ventilation, but we'll see what they do. If all the bees coming back, if they beard for the next 2-3 days, whatever. Now just keep an eye on it. I didn't go through the copper top and I didn't go through the red one, the nuke that I caught, or the swarm that I caught, which was my swarm. I didn't go through those 2. I'll do that the next time. So haven't done that. I'm gonna finish with all of my small projects and rendering wax and moving things around and fixing up the storeroom to make it better ergonomically for me. And hopefully to get everything situated to be better ergonomically, to work on building the long hive. Yep, I said it. Still on there, still in the head, but I got you coming. All right, thanks for watching. I'll see y'all next week, and have fun with your bees. Even when you're not sure if you messed up by marking that virgin from the swarm or the ones that they left when they made a queen. I don't know. Anyway, we'll figure it out, or I know somebody who's making queens. Maybe I'll just get one. We'll see. All right, bye y'all.